With a strong and sturdy build, an 11-inch display, a 20,080 mAh battery and even an ultra-bright LED for camping, the Hotwav Tab R9 Pro is the ultimate rugged tablet that doesn't break the bank, so hit subscribe now and we'll check out what this thing can do. So full disclosure before we get started though, the video is sponsored by Hotwav and they've sent me the Tab R9 Pro for free to showcase to you guys. So here we have the Hotwav Tab R9 Pro, and from the minute you pick this up you can feel how strong and sturdy it is. I haven't done any proper drop tests on this, but you can happily throw it around thanks to the mil standard 810-8 certification, and we've also got solid rubber corners that protect both the device as well as the display. As well as feeling very strong, it's got a nice weight to it coming in at 1,066 grams, and it's also IP68 and IP69K water and dust resistant, so you're free to use it in whatever weather conditions you need. Now on the front, we've got this 11-inch 60Hz display with a Full HD Plus resolution of 1200 by 1920, and it's got a brightness of 450 nits. It's protected by Corning's Gorilla Glass 3, and you can see that the display is nice and vibrant, it's really responsive, and just overall it works really well. And we've even got a glove mode for those of you working outside in the cold. Now up in the top bezel, we've got a 16 megapixel selfie camera, then over on the rear we get a 64 megapixel wide angle camera, and then this second camera is actually a real lens, but it's a decorative camera and it doesn't actually do anything. Now you'll also notice on the rear we've got this yellow part at the bottom, and this is actually a super bright camping LED, and there's also an app pre-installed on the phone that lets you select between full, half or quarter light. Then we've also got the SOS option as well. But you can see here it's an incredibly bright LED light and it's much more useful than a standard camera flash. Now you'll also notice we've got screws on the back, and this is for those of you that want to use the included hand strap, and in the box we've got a screwdriver and two brackets that can be attached, and this just makes it much easier to hold one-handed if you're on the job and you're going to be needing your other hand. Now the Tab R9 is equipped with the Unisoc T606, which is an octa-core CPU, and they've paired it with 6GB of RAM and 256GB of internal storage. But the great thing is, for those of you that do need more RAM, you can extend it with virtual memory, and you can extend this in the settings and add up to 14GB. Then we've also got microSD card support for up to 2TB. Now in terms of performance though, it's handled everything well for a rugged tablet, and I've even tested it out with some games like Call of Duty and Asphalt, and while it's not going to play the latest games in the highest details and refresh rates like the latest flagship chipsets, it can still play the game smoothly, allowing you to have a bit of fun as well. Now for those of you concerned with synthetic benchmarks, I've run it through Geekbench 6 where it scored 394 for single core and then 1387 for multi-core. Then I've also ran it through 3DMark's Wildlife benchmark, and on here it scores 427 with an average frame rate of 2.56. When it comes to the cameras, here are some photos that I've taken with the camera to show you what quality you're going to get from the Tab R9 Pro. We've got plenty of options for photos, including a panorama, a pro mode and a 64 megapixel mode, and here's some photos from the 16 megapixel selfie camera. Now when it comes to video, you can shoot 1080p from the rear camera at 30 frames a second, and then 720p from the selfie camera at 30 frames a second, so we'll just take a look at the video samples now. So this is the video from the rear facing camera. This is 1080p, 30 frames a second. You have an idea what it looks like. I'll just do a slow pan. And back again. Here we've got the front facing camera, and this is 720p at 30 frames a second. So this is the quality you're going to get from that. If I just do some panning round. Again, we've got a busy road behind me, so that'll also show you what the noise cancellation is like. But this is the video quality from the selfie camera. Now on the software side, it's running Android 14, so of course you've all seen it before. It runs nice and smoothly, and it's also not loaded with loads of bloatware, and I've moved away any apps that I've personally installed, so these are the ones that are preloaded onto the tablet. Now we do have some useful work tool apps pre-installed like the camping light. We've also got the launcher and tool bag, and the launcher is just a simplified version with big buttons that's going to allow you to easily access the important stuff if you're doing something at work. And then the toolbox has things like a height measure, bubble level, plumb bob and picture hanger. Now powering the device is a whopping 20,080 mAh battery, which also supports 20 watt fast charging. While doing this review, I forgot to turn it off while using it, and it hasn't really mattered as I've had this tablet on for days now without the need for charging. It is of course charged via the USB Type-C port, and we also get Bluetooth 5 and dual band Wi-Fi. Now, having a large 11-inch display makes it great for browsing the web, doing emails and going through your socials, as well as enjoying media like movies, TV shows or maybe some YouTube. We've got dual rear-firing speakers that sound really good when you place it onto a table to give the sound something to bounce off of, so we'll just take a look at the sound samples now. Now, when it comes to packaging, if we open it up, you can see we first get the Tab R9 Pro with its plastic film on the display, and it also comes with a pre-installed screen protector, but I took that off just because I don't like screen protectors. Under that, we've got screws for the strap bracket, we've got a USB-A to USB-C adapter, we've got a USB-C cable, we've got the manual, some wipes, the charger, and of course mine is for the EU. And then finally, we've got the 2 brackets and a screwdriver, and this is to fix this strap onto the back of the tablet for easier one-handed use. But overall, the Hotwav Tab R9 Pro is a great rugged tablet that doesn't break the bank, and it comes in at just $280. It's strong and durable and should be able to survive any drops or falls in the workplace. And of course, I've placed a link to the tablet down in the description below, so you can go ahead and check it out now. And hopefully I've covered everything in today's video, but of course if there is anything I've missed or you've got any questions at all, then just ask them in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But thanks for watching the video, and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with the latest tech.